Still a good team last year, and this year, they're an even better team. It doesn't. There's no carryover from last year to this year. We don't really see that at all. As far as we don't think about the game that way. We know the game's going to be really intense, and we know we're going to have to come with our A game because those guys are going to come out there with theirs. And, they're excited to go play, and whenever somebody beats you, you always want to get revenge. And so they're excited to play. And I just think that overall they understand things better. Offensive scheme's good. They got great guys. I can't really talk about the defense because I haven't seen them. But I just think their offense, they're good. They understand things.
How much did the Clemson defense just need a break? I mean, you guys 10 straight weeks, not a ton of depth on that defense.
Yeah.
How much did you guys just need a couple of days off to get?
I think that break was good for us. Coach Sweeney did a great job of letting us, relax a little bit. Getting our bodies back healthy. We had practices. We weren't on the field long. Got to go home, just relax with the family. So I think he's done a great job of just helping us get prepared for this game.
Ben said that he hadn't played a stretch of games like that since high school. Did you kind of have that feeling?
Yeah,
as well?
that was crazy. I was like, man, there's no brakes. It's just all gas, no brakes. And so it was really weird. But I figured it would happen. Just looking at the schedule early in the year, but you don't know how real it is until you're actually in it. So it got really real for a couple weeks.
Appreciate it.
Sis, are you enjoying this maybe a little bit more than some of these other guys because of what you've already been through this year?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely. I take it a game every moment of the time. I just like to soak up every moment now that I'm back. I really got positive attitude about a lot of things. So it's pretty cool, and it's also cool to see the younger guys who was where I was years ago when I was like, I didn't realize how important it was to be in a bowl game. So, like when we were in the BCS Orange Bowl, like my sophomore year, I was like, oh, we're just in a bowl game. And everybody was telling me how important it was to be in a BCS bowl game. I'm like, I don't get it. So now it's just cool to see those guys who are still young and they don't really get it, like how intense this moment is and how this doesn't come around a lot for a lot of teams. It's great that it happens to you. You don't have runs like this as a season. Coach Sweeney, I tell you, one of our players, he asked him one day, and he's like, Coach, you only got one national championship ring? And Coach Sweeney was just like, it's just naive. He laughed because, it's just crazy to see how naive some guys are. Those things don't come around often. They'll just give them away. So it's cool to see, just look at back and see what those guys are doing.
And this is even bigger than a BCS game.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, I just don't think you understand as a young guy. And, some guys do and some guys don't. It's not. It doesn't register you. You might understand it, but it doesn't register you like, hey, this opportunity might not come around ever again. This might be the only time it happens. And just like that one national championship ring, that Coach Sweeney has, this might be the only time it ever happens. So you really got to take advantage of it. And I think, guys ready to go play. I just don't think they understand, like, what this moment's all about and how intense it really is right now.
I guess it makes it even more special because it's little old Clemson and
as
small as you guys are and you're sitting on this big stage.
And, those guys just – I was watching in the years when Clemson, 6-5, great recruiting class, but we didn't do so well out here the first time we came out here. So, it's just like it's cool to really see, like, hey, all right, we're getting there. The recruiting classes are rolling strong. And that's all those guys know. All those guys who are coming in, they've all been winners their whole life, so they don't expect to get to college to do anything different. But, as being an older guy, seeing the groundwork that's been put in, the tough losses and the games where you thought you were going to win and it just didn't come out that way. So, we've seen the groundwork, especially that the older guys before us put in. I've been fortunate that to get here and, just been kind of the way those guys were in high school, win. I've been through some tough losses, but I just watching those older guys before me put through that grind and the tough work they've been through, it's really made you more appreciative of what's going on right now.
Your guys are very popular on campus and got a lot of friends, obviously, but What does your students and the people around Clemson say about the run you guys are, and what's meant to the community, the little community of Clemson?
You know, Coach Sweeney says it every day. You know, you never know how you play impacts people, and I just think our community, you know, so supportive. They're excited. You know, I'm expecting them to come down strong for the bowl game. But you know, it's just pretty cool to have a fan support system like we do. You know, Clemson's not a big city, real small town. School's not super big, but yet you have 130,000 people there every weekend. You know, it's cool. You know, it's pretty awesome to go from 17,000 in a whole entire school to 85,000 in the stadium in an overnight experience. So I mean, it's really, really awesome just to have that great support that we do from our fans and, you know, our people around the community. You know, they love Clemson, and, you know, as long as we keep winning, we make them happy. And, you know, just the way we play makes them happy. So I just think, you know, especially just getting after it out there on the field, you know, they're excited. And when we go out there on the field, they're excited to watch us play, you know, no matter what's going on.
Can you break down that meeting that Coach Venables and Coach Sweeney had with you guys, where they kind of challenged the defense? What was said in that meeting, and how did the team react to it?
Oh, you know, they just challenged us as men, you know, and then, you know, if you can either put up or shut up, you know, we're being complacent and mediocre. And, you know, they came out and they straight up told us that, and they felt like we could handle it, and, you know, I felt like we handled it well. And, you know, we just went back to work. We knew that, you know, we couldn't sit there and pout about it or gripe about it. We just went back to work as players, and, you know, just excited to get back out there and just get after it, like I said. So, I mean, it was things said, you know, about how we weren't tackling well, we weren't playing well, we were average right now. And, you know, we accepted and took it on the chin. We knew all those things already. It's just, you know, it's different hearing it from a coach. We knew those things, and we weren't playing our potential, but we had let our hair down a little bit, you know, so you need a reality check every now and then.
Which one did the most talking?
Man, that's how they both can talk. And, you know, it's kind of a more of a, it's almost like a keep ripping off a Band-Aid with Coach Sweeney sometimes. You'll think it's gone, he'll keep coming back to it, and so it's pretty. Coach V kind of talks about it, you know, he'll let it go. But every talk with V is intense, so, you know, it's just like a long, intense talk. But with Coach Sweeney, it's kind of like ripping off a Band-Aid every time. You know it's going to happen, you just don't know when it's going to happen. So it's pretty funny.
Well, everybody talks about Dabo and Andy Teasdale during the ACC championship game, and you were like, you've seen that before, haven't you?
Oh yeah, I've had that happen plenty of times. You know, just whether it be me or just somebody near me, it's just like, oh man. And then you go away, and he comes back and he's like, oh man. I mean, but that's just who he is as a coach. That's what he's been doing his whole life. So I mean, it's just like, you know, he means well. You know, he doesn't hate you. You know, I mean, he might be mad at the moment. You know, some other moments might remind him why he's mad again. But you know, that's just who he is as a coach. You know, you love him for it throughout all of it, and you know that, you know, hey, it's not gonna always go your way. You know, you just gotta accept it.
Joe, I'll throw you a little bit of a curveball. I don't know if you remember back in the spring at Oklahoma where they had this incident where kind of a racist video that a fraternity, remember that, came out, and then the football team kind of made a stand against it. Didn't practice one day, and I think one of the players even kind of commented, you know, we know a lot of the fans that cheer us on Saturdays wouldn't let us in their house the rest of the week. I'm just curious, just as from a, you know, what is that experience like, you know, for you at Clemson? Is it at all isolating, you know, when you're on a team, you know, athletic community, a large number of African Americans, maybe you don't see a lot when you're walking around campus?
You know, I don't really go out as much as I used to when I was younger, but, you know, I think you're going to see that everywhere. You know, I mean, it's as sad as it is and unfortunately as it is, but I mean, as unfortunate as it is, you know, it happens. But I just think, you know, I'm proud of them for taking a stand. You know, that videos like that should never happen. And, you know, it's sad to see that, you know, 60-something years later, things like that still happen in our world. But, you know, I mean, it's the 1%ers, like, and 1% of every profession is bad people. You know, 1% of every university is really bad people. So I mean, you can't label everybody. I think at Clemson we had a great family atmosphere, but so I might be oblivious to some things that happen. Especially a few years ago we were trying to do that whole change of the name of the building and stuff. So I mean, just you can see some division sometimes. It's not as hard being an athlete in it because you're isolated a lot. So I mean, you can't really do things, and we don't have time to do a lot of things. So it's just like I think it is. If you want to do stuff, it's pretty tough on you. But it's just, if you need that. Not a distraction, but that getaway from what reality is. Being an athlete definitely helps you a lot. You have things you have to do your day scheduled every day. So I mean, I think it's just I don't see it as much Clemson, but like I said, I can be a football team. So I just think we do a good job of having a family atmosphere. If not, then our coach do. If not, our coaches do a great job. The team is busy. That's for sure.
I was gonna say, it sounds like you're realistic though about